Okay, good evening, everyone. If I could have your attention. Unfortunately, it looks like most of you don't have your main entree yet. Thank you, Gary. We don't have any glass around here. Yeah, right. In the old days, we'd have a glass, and you think how we got all plastic. But anyway, welcome, everybody. It's very nice to see you all here this evening. It looks like we have a mixture of people. As far as, by that I mean, we have a lot of the members from the Computerized Technical Analysis Group, and we have several from the SectorSurfer Users Group. One of the first things I'd like to do, of course, is thank Sid Kaiser for allowing us to combine this joint meeting today. So thank you, Sid, and thank you all CTAG people. The CTAG, Computerized Technical Analysis Group, we've been meeting, what, 20, 25 years now? Something like that. We meet twice a month on the first and third Wednesdays here at 6:30. It's a smaller group, and we use a variety of computerized techniques to do technical analysis and to select surefire winners, right?
Occasionally.
Occasionally, right. So thank you for all of you CTAG people coming. I'm sure this will be an interest to you. And then we have the SectorSurfer Users Group here tonight. We currently have about 140 or more members signed up. So one of the first things I'd like to see, how many of you are current users of SectorSurfer? Yeah, quite a few. Well, good, thank you. You as the experts, I'm sure will be able to share some knowledge with those newer people, those people that have not used SectorSurfer, and I'm sure that the users will have several good questions for Scott this evening. There we go, thank you. So what I'd like to do first, of course, is to welcome Scott and Aaron to our meeting this evening, and I want to thank Scott for being willing to stop in San Jose on his way to Los Angeles. My pleasure. Oh, thank you. If you recall, Scott was with us last November. Many of us attended the AAII presentation that Scott gave in Santa Clara, and that was the first opportunity for us to learn about SectorSurfer. And I was so convinced at that meeting that I called Scott and asked him if he had a users group. He did not at that time. It was on the to-do list with 1,000 other things. So I asked him if he would mind if I went ahead and put a users group together, because I know a lot of people here in the Valley, and I think it's a good opportunity to share the learning experiences with one another. So Scott agreed, and we formed the users group in late November, and then we were recognized by Scott as the official SectorSurfer Users Group, I think in early December or so. I'll share with you a little more about our group and our next meeting. We do meet about every 2 months, usually at the Saratoga Library. So if you wanted to jot down, our next meeting is on the 1st of July at 6:30 at the Saratoga Library. I have a strange thing going on here. My camera every few minutes picks up a radio station or something, and it just wants to have a good time playing music for us. So hopefully, we're trying to record this for the users. We'll take this high definition recording. I have to break it up into pieces or parts because it takes about 6 hours to load a 20 to 30 minute segment. So I typically do that while I'm sleeping, so I don't have to sit there for 6 hours. And then it takes YouTube about another hour to 2 hours to process it. So it takes 8 hours or so to process a high definition recording. So Phil, when you have a chance, could you see what's next here?
The up arrows, huh?
Down arrow for this one.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. This is our typical disclaimer and non-disclosure agreement that we've prepared for our users group. Everything you're going to hear tonight is not direction, it's not suggestions that you go out and buy a particular stock, mutual fund. It's for informational and educational purposes only. So I just want to make sure that's clear with everyone. So, you know, most of us all have a key question, three key questions, whether we're an investor or whether we're a trader. The first one thing you want to know is, where do I put my money? Especially when I look around this group, a lot of retirees, a lot of wealth in this room, and I'm sure you all have a lot of money and you don't know where to put it.
Keep talking.
Okay, this is the richest guy in the room who's just leaving. So the second question we all have is, when do we buy? You know, we have a variety of rules in that as far as when is a good time to buy. And finally, the most difficult question of all is, when do you sell? And I explained to my wife, this is so difficult because if you don't sell and the stock tanks, you get upset, right? You do sell and the stock continues up, you get upset again. It's the most frustrating thing, is knowing when to sell. So the question I have for all of you tonight, where do we go for the answer?
SectorSurfer.
I don't know, let's see, Phil. Phil's trying to eat his trout here. I'll get off the stage pretty quick. That's right, who said SectorSurfer?
Yeah.
All right.
A+.
Yeah, A+. I knew this was a very intelligent group, thank you. We all go to SectorSurfer, especially the new people though. You don't go to SectorSurfer yet, but after tonight and perhaps after tomorrow night, when you hear what SectorSurfer can do for you, I hope that you too will go to SectorSurfer. Okay, Phil. Our guest tonight, as you can see here, is Scott Juds. You can look at his bio very quickly. I like here that he is the crusader for the little guy. I don't know about you, but that's me. So we appreciate that, Scott. He does have some high-performance investment software for our use. It's no longer limited to the big boys on Wall Street. Diversification can cause poor performing stock selection. So one of the things you new people will learn, we're not talking diversification, we're talking focusing the efforts, focusing the software on the best in the class. You can read here, Scott has been doing this for 15 years. He's been on a quest, and with an engineering background, especially from Stanford, you know he's a smart guy, and he's applied his knowledge and experience to come up with SectorSurfer. One more time. Now, tonight we're not going to focus on those 4 bullets. We're going to do that tomorrow when we meet for the introductory level presentation. Now, I'm sure in your mind you say, Joe, well, why are we doing the advanced information tonight instead of tomorrow night and have the introductory tonight? And the problem is because of logistics. From what I understand, there's going to be a larger group tomorrow night at the introductory level, and we didn't want to pack everyone in here. Also, several of the users asked if we could do the advanced tonight because of non-availability tomorrow night. And as users, we try to meet their needs. So that's why we're doing the advanced tonight and the introductory tomorrow. So if you're new, it'd be nice if you could come tomorrow. I know some of you can't come tomorrow, but give it a try. We'd love to have you. As you can see, Scott is the president and CEO of SumGrowth Strategies. He was formerly the founder and president of P-Tech Engineering, founder.
Wait. Pi.
Tech.
P-I.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
141.
When I looked at it earlier today, I said, well, gee, I know my Greek, you know, it's pi, and I hear it say P. I guess it's nervous tension before being in front of this group of hundreds of people tonight.
Besides, it sounds high-tech.
Yeah, high-tech. Very nice. Did you come up with the name, Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder we like it.
The way I like it.
And as you can see, he has been an inventor. This is very impressive. Named inventor in over 40 different U.S. and foreign patents. in a very specialized area. I know we have some very knowledgeable engineers in here, and I'm sure people like Jerome and others understand what this is all about. It's above my head. He's a registered professional engineer in Washington. He holds a MSEE from Stanford. He spent, what was it, 9 months or so down here at Whiskey Gulch. Does anybody know what Whiskey Gulch is here? Okay, well, we'll keep it between us. Maybe you can tell everybody. Okay, without further ado, what I'd like to do, we're going to have Scott get up and go through some of the newest benefits and features. I think there's going to be a review, a test afterwards, so hopefully you pay attention. One of the things here at the restaurant, by the way, many of you that ordered entrees, you get a dessert, especially if you ordered off of the special. So Victoria will be coming around. Unfortunately, it's disruptive, but she's going to ask you, what dessert do you want? You know, bread dessert, you want tapioca, banana pudding. You probably don't have any of that good ice cream left, but anyway. So without further ado, how about a round of applause welcoming Scott in here.